So before we start this off, I was gonna do this on Halloween, but you know, today this was announced, but of course, due to recent situations and how I'm thinking about this thing, I decided to postpone doing this video until today. And I do want to make a video talking about this because it's a very interesting situation going on evolving this update. And of course, the more bigger question that hasn't been really told yet, but I feel like I'll be the few to start because I don't think I'm the first one to bring this up. I mean, it's been 2 days since this announcement, but I do want to kind of bring this up because it's very interesting. And of course, kind of see where things are heading for this company and as Nintendo. And let's be real here, this year has not been great for Nintendo at all. Because they made very stupid, idiotic decisions that are super duper, mega trooper stupid. That literally people thought this was going to be the end of Nintendo until Microsoft showed their wiener out. Like literally, that's how the best way to accurate. But it was, and even then, that goes into extent further that this year has not been the year of gaming. Holy crap! This has been the most saddest year so far for gaming. I say so far because we only got 2 months in, but holy crap! Like there have been good stuff out there. I mean, Sonic Crossroads Racing, Silent Hill F, which I actually haven't played, but I think that concept is good. We got more info about OD, which I'm also unable to play, but hey, I'm actually willing to watch someone else play because it looks very fascinating. Chapter 3 and 4 for Deltarune, all that gobbledygook. But it's literally just dug up with almost most many situational crap, such as when's the next Guilty Gear DLC, which that's on my end, not everyone else's cup of tea, because trust me, that's not as bad as literally the Nintendo Switch 2 launch. Which, to be fair, as always, people need to chill and let people buy what they want to buy, and accept the fact that the numbers stands high. But at the same time, as I always say, I am neutral on this thing because, yeah, Nintendo not did a good job explaining shit. The key cards are a disaster, which literally is. And of course, we can't forget about the pricing, which admittedly is divisive for multiple reasons. Again, I was okay a little bit when Mario Kart came out. That's only because I wasn't even getting it. And of course, I was like, yeah, it's just $80. But then here comes Pokemon with fucking 100, which I still got. Well, except for the 10 part, because I actually didn't get the upgrade pack. I just got the regular game and, of course, the DLC. So, again, I'm the dumbass here. But to be fair, it has been, that should give you an idea how stupid decisions Nintendo have been making. Because Nintendo have been making very stupid decisions. There's not going to be a lie. I can't even sugarcoat that. To literally trying to communicate with the gamers, to literally their last direct, which to be fair wasn't bad. I think it's kind of overblown how bad it is, but the overblown is kind of justified because like you start off with not a video game but a movie. That's the dumbest shit that should be the literal red flag that you're butt fucked at this point, like literally. But recently, Nintendo throw a unique curveball at us with the upcoming Animal Crossing update. Now, just to clarify, and I think this does need to be clarified, just in case, which I don't think there is confusion because I think they made it crystal clear about it, but just in case, the upgrade pack for the Switch 2 edition, upgrade for Animal Crossing New Horizons, it only has many stuff. The Lego stuff, the crossover stuff, well, the other crossover stuff, the hotel stuff, that is not included with the Switch 2 edition. That's actually just a separate update that all players can enjoy. Which, so far, is a bombshell because this thing looks like it's packed. Like, you would think they would do something similar to what they did with Pokemon ZA with the DLC, or, like what they did Happy Homes Paradise thing. But no, they just dropped a free DLC that's, again, packed. And, there's a lot of debate over how good a pack it is. It is good, but there's like, some are like, especially to say the least. But that's actually the first part that made people surprised. But the second more important thing that probably made people way surprised is the pricing. If this is an upgrade, if this smaller upgrade pack, and we already have the game, the upgrade pack is $5 freaking. Not free, of course, but surprisingly not as high as the usual upgrade packs. It's $5, even more lower than even the Pokemon upgrade pack, which was $10. Hence why it became, of course, hence why that game became $100 to say the least. And believe it or not, that got me super excited that I jokingly finally transferred my Animal Crossing New Horizons to the Nintendo Switch 2, which I've been meaning to do either way. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm not going to stop using my OLED, but my OLED is going to be kind of for just in case games that I want to get, but I want to question it, if you know what I mean. But, pretty much straightforward. So, hey, now I got Animal Crossing on it, and I can use my Nintendo Switch 2 more. Although it's going to cause some debate for me when I have to get freaking Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, because that is going to be in my system soon. I just got to figure out when. But anyways, back to the point here. This has caused, of course, a bit of a hidden question, being has Nintendo learned their mistake? Especially also since they have basically previously, earlier this week or last week, I don't remember, but do correct me, they did the Sakurai Direct, and pretty much it was pretty straightforward, but was filled with content that people liked. Granted, I don't think people are really excited for Kirby Riders Air Ride or something like that, because honestly, I could see the discussions online and it's been mixed, honestly. Honestly, I'm not getting it, but what I saw from the Direct, it was positive. It was something people want. So this has made a big question. Have Nintendo finally realized they fucked up and it turned around? I can't say. Literally, I can't say, but this definitely is a very intriguing situation. Plus, there's obviously going to be some, like, bullshit. There's obviously going to be a loophole ex machina thing of literally an excuse, which, to be fair, there probably is a couple of them. For example, who the hell still plays Animal Crossing? I'm going to be real honest. I understand why it boomed, obviously, and be fair, I love Animal Crossing more than next guy, but that's not like a very hardcore game like Smash Brothers or some shit. That's just being honest. It's like literally that one joke from SML when Cody, this was before they changed them into puppets using Nintendo plush, he was like, fuck me, right in the ass, Nintendo, after seeing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Because, agreeably, who the fuck, I mean, Isabelle is okay, but still, who the fuck added her into the karting game? I'm just saying, no offense, Animal Crossing is great. I love the series more than the next person. But it's not a profitable series. It's not even in the top 5, I think, in Nintendo's roster of best series. That would be mostly like something like Kirby or Pokemon or, Zelda or Mario. So it's very, and Metroid. So it's very weird to see this. And also, it's also no doubt that because of that, many could jokingly argue they're only doing this because it's a game that really people won't care about with this update. So there's a good excuse there. Not to mention, also, there's the interesting question about the whole president change. If you don't recall, a couple months ago, it was confirmed that Doug Bowser is using that golden parachute and flying out of the fucking building. No joke. Okay, but you know what I'm saying. He's basically retiring and he's being replaced by a new person. I did a whole video on that, but many people are thinking this is the new person's already probably taking action. Well, they're not saying it, but it probably is what many people are thinking about. That's what I'm thinking about. But again, you gotta remember, it's unknown if Nintendo of America have a lot of power. Remember, Nintendo is a Japanese company. Their main office is in Japan. Their Nintendo of America is mostly probably used to just translate their games or some bullshit. I mean, again, I don't know much of how that worked, but again, they don't have much power. That's one thing we all know. So maybe they did something like that. I don't know. I mean, it is more so the January stuff. But again, it is a very interesting situation to think about because meanwhile, in another kind of situation and kind of something that's funny that happened, which I debated even doing a full video on, but I decided not to because I think this is pretty much a duh that was going to happen. Yeah, basically, turns out even Japan courts believe this was bullshit, like as expected, as they denied Nintendo from their Pokemon patent. For context, if you don't know, another thing that happened a couple months ago, I think truly not this last month, but the previous month in September, to get back at Power World, they decided to patent the crap out of their Pokemon stuff, which isn't the first time they did this apparently. However, because of the patent being basically every single thing in RPG of the Galu, basically the Japan courts look at it and said, this is the most bullshit we ever seen in our lives, and throw the book at Nintendo. Like, literally, like a freaking cannon. And I know that's going a little bit extreme here because I know it's probably more complex than it says. But again, this is really the dumbest patent in the world right now because, well, yes, as stated, to clarify, Nintendo isn't going to try to go after every single company. They're just doing this to go after Power World. Yeah, it's justified in causing chaos because justifiably, as people are kind of saying, this is like every RPG in the world here. You're basically trying to stop people from copycatting Pokemon. So it's very weird. You can't own that section of the RPG. So it's a very weird situation. And being a patent troll is not going to help. So, yeah, something tells me they're never going to get this patent through. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this works. But as of now, going back to the real question, will Nintendo kind of change their ways, at least on Switch 2? I don't know. Like, to be fair, it's probably because they might do it because of the rocky start of Switch 2. Because again, it's not that bad. I mean, again, it sold, for fuck's sake. Because again, we don't need to go back to this goddamn path of doo-dooville of literally explaining casual audience are not literally just grandmas and babies here. Like, literally, it's just general people who don't give a damn and they just want to play a console. But at the same time, it is a very interesting situation. Me personally, I'm just ready for the whiplash. A lot of people are saying, hinting at final direct before this year, which makes sense. But I will say this. If they do a final direct, which they probably like 95% sure they will, they really need to do a ultimate, not even a backpedal, but a ultimate U-turn and kind of fix up their image a little bit. Because the last direct, again, it wasn't that bad, but it was completely stupid. It was basically showing how brain dead they were of the situation. Because again, the fact that they even jokingly use Pokemon and use like Pikachu as a freaking bulletproof vest here really just show how dumb they were with this whole situation. It really just showed. And it's not just, of course, the Pokemon ZA thing. There was other stuff, too, of that direct that was bullshit. But that's like the major one even for me to point out. Probably because I'm a Pokemon fan. And because also, even if I'm a Pokemon fan, even I have to agree, is ultimate bullshit to put DLC before the game release. What other video game has done that? And if there has been one, I'll be shocked to see one because I don't think any other video game did that. And if they did, I bet their success story is kind of like, to say the least. But still, it's a very fascinating situation. Do I hope Nintendo do a U-turn? I actually truly do. And there are some reasons why they might be doing that, other than the backlash. It's because of how Microsoft is doing it, because unlike them, again, they're doing the worm in a freaking landmine. Literally, Microsoft is doing a worm in the freaking landmine because they have been even more bullshit than Nintendo this year, which is shocking. Like, what, did they saw the success of the Switch 2 and wanted to repeat it or some bullshit? And of course, also, again, while I would not say Nintendo Switch 2 is a failure console, it's no secret they are noticing the problems. I mean, again, people on the internet has been very loud and clear about it. Admittedly, I will say I think the now actual explanations have gotten a lot better. I think people finally started to realize being a jackass is not a good way to explain your concerns here, because again, being a jackass ain't going to help you explain things, because you're just going to make someone just want to buy a Switch 2 out of spite. But it's not like Nintendo is not listening to feedback. Hopefully. Again, I'm being hopeful here. That's the key word. They could be pulling a wolves over our eyes here or some bullshit. Because again, this is Animal Crossing. There's da-da-da. But in short, I do hope they are doing a U-turn. It's not a backpedal, it's a U-turn. But let's be real here. It's hope. And hope is pretty much like a dragon here. So it's a very tricky situation. I honestly would not be surprised if they screw up again and backpedal on that hope. But to be fair, it is a good start. It is a good stepping stone. And hey, on a plus side, it shows they're definitely getting ready for the next year, because that will, when the Nintendo Switch is getting ready for when it gets truly, big, to say the least. But anyways, yeah, I just want to blabber about this, Nothing major. I just hope Nintendo is learning their lessons. But hey, I'm excited for the Animal Crossing New Horizons update. I think they did a good job in being smart. And yes, I am going to get the upgrade pack. It's going to be my first upgrade pack because I'm not upgrading to Pokemon ZA because I don't see it useful. But yeah, I am getting the upgrade pack for Animal Crossing New Horizons. This will be my first upgrade pack, so I might do a review. I do got a video game review later, but for now, pretty interesting. Anyways, this has been Floxcast. Snapping out of here. Bye.